Say a little, do it loud. Woo! No excuses. Ay. I got no excuses.
Hey, what's up, my good people? It's your boy Zeke, and welcome to Firedup KC, man. It's been a long time, but we're back here. You know, this is Firedup KC. We bring the motivation, inspiration, and leadership. And today we have one of Kansas City's greatest leaders, the CEO of Community Bureaus of Kansas City. And if you do not know who those are, they are Kansas City's largest investors and developers with over $250 million in investments. And Mr. Emmet here today is the CEO of the company, and he's also been he has 30 years of experience in real estate. So he knows what he's doing. So today we're going to be talking about leadership, entrepreneurship, and we're going to have some fun too. So I want you guys to Mr. Emmet Pierson today. Make some noise in the house. We have the CEO in the house today. It's going to be a great show. How are you feeling today, sir?
I am feeling fantastic. Thank you all for having me here. So on this cold winter, but how about them Chiefs?
Yeah, how about them Chiefs? How about them Chiefs? So if you guys do not know, the Chiefs actually won the championship last Sunday. So, hey, it's about to get lit. So tomorrow we're actually having a parade. And are you going to the parade, Mr. Emmet?
I am not going to the parade.
Oh, dang. It's going to be cold, I guess.
That's correct. It's cold. My kids are grown or grown-ish.
Yeah.
So, no. But I will watch it on TV.
Yes. I mean, I will be out there tomorrow, hopefully. Because I plan to. I've been following the Chiefs game for like till they won the championship. I'm like, now I'm not gonna check it out. I am actually gonna go to this parade. So it's gonna be lit tomorrow. Mahomes is coming back. I sent Mahomes. That's what we call him, my homie. So he's coming back to KC. So we're gonna have fun. But let's get right into today. Welcome to Firedup KC. Thank you for coming today. I really appreciate you. This is an awesome opportunity that you came here today. And actually, you just told me earlier today you are actually on the advisory board of EMKC.
I am on the board of trustees as of November, okay.
So welcome to MKC. Welcome to MKC. So can I give everyone who is Mr. Emmet Pierson? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you're from, how your story started, so we can know who we're talking with today.
Sure. So I am a Kansas City kid. Okay. I grew up literally probably about 6 minutes away from here at 52nd and Brooklyn. My mother still lives there. Okay. She's going to be 86 years old in about 2 weeks. Okay. So I grew up in the Blue Hills neighborhood. Which the Star some years ago said was the worst zip code, 64130, in all of Missouri. Wow. So I'm from that zip code. Wow. I'm a kid that took public transportation to school. So we didn't have a car. My mom still does not drive and has never driven. But I grew up, like I said, close. Yeah. I grew up with a sense of community. My mom was neighborhood president, community activist. Yeah. I'm a teacher. Oh, wow. So she instilled in me a tremendous sense of giving back. And so I have the pleasure and blessing to run a large organization that we pride ourselves on giving back. Yeah. And so it's my second time with the organization. Okay. I have two daughters. One is at HBCU Howard, playing soccer. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. All right. And she's a junior. Okay. And then I have a freshman at the University of Kentucky. Oh, wow. Okay. So very diverse college experiences. Wow. Okay. And then I am married for 20 years. Wow. To a local pediatrician here. Wow. Well, I just want to put that in there. I do play soccer. I got some skills too. You know, I got a few skills in there. I don't show them often, but I do have some soccer skills. You know. Okay. We'll have to put you up against my daughter, and I see the Maradona, and Messi. Yes. That's awesome. That's beautiful. So, like, can I tell us, like, what is your path from? Because I read your resume. You had a degree in biology. How did you go from biology to becoming a CEO of a company in Kansas City? How did that happen? So since it's just you and I, okay, totally by accident. Wow. When I got finished with school, I was trying to decide on what I wanted to do. Yes. And so as it turns out, my brother-in-law was the city of Kansas City, Missouri, is one of their chief consultants on economic development. Yeah. What that basically means is there was $1 of federal funds into a particular project, primarily housing and large-scale economic development projects. Yes. He was the one that put the deal and financing together on behalf of the city of Kansas, Missouri. Okay. And so he said, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "I have no idea. What you got?" And I was, traveling across the country there. Yeah. And so he said, well, come work with me. And for 4 hours a day, they had a contract, a national contract, with what's called the Resolution Trust Corporation. That's just a fancy word for that time a savings and loan or a bank.
Okay.
And they were to dispose of these assets, primarily apartments, across the country, with an eye toward giving them to minority-led not-for-profits or not-for-profits. I knew nothing about real estate, knew nothing about economic development. And so I started working with him for 4 days a week. 4 hours a day. Yeah. Then it turned into 8 hours. And then I went from having a chair in his office to my own cubicle.
Wow, okay.
And then I had the great fortune of really getting with one of the lawyers in the office there who did all of the large-scale development work, financing, and documents. Yeah. And he imparted a great deal of knowledge to me. And so from there, that was the first real sign of what it meant to get into economic development work. And then from there, I did fairly well. Okay. That a gentleman by the name of Don Maxwell, and he's known in Kansas City of really developing 31st and Prospect.
Wow, okay.
He took a liking or an eye to me and said, come work for me. Well, I didn't know who he was and had no idea of what he did. Yeah. And I kind of blew him off. Yeah. And he came and said, hey, I want to, talk to your brother-in-law. I like how you get down. I need you to come work and be a part of my team. And so he was like, this is what we do. Yeah. I'm at 31st and Prospect. And I was still like, hey, man, I'm chilling. I got this cush job with my brother-in-law. I've got my little system down. Yeah. And he took out a piece of paper and he wrote down a number and he stood across the table. And he said, well, that'll be your starting salary. Ooh. I was like, I'll start on Monday. And that's a true story. At the time I was in my mom's basement. So I was like, hey. And so really from there, I heard him give a speech, and it was, and the theme was, ghetto the gold mine, the choice is yours. And I didn't know what that meant, but it basically meant that, the urban community is a gold mine, but you have to make that choice. Yes. You have to make the choice as individuals. You have to make the choice as community members. Yeah. And the community itself has to make a choice. Are we going to accept the stereotype of ghetto, or are we going to begin to transform this community into a gold mine? And Mr. Maxwell got it from a gentleman by the name of Bernard Powell, who was part of and founder of SAC 20, Social Action Committee of 20 men who really came together to affect change for African Americans in the east side of the urban core of Kansas City. And so from that really sparked a fire in me, and things just took off. And I had the good fortune of leaving that organization and going to the SWOPE family, which is part of the SWOPE Health, now SWOPE Health Services. Yeah. At that time, it was SWOPE Parkway Health Center, and they had a real estate development arm. Okay. And I was there and brought in to run their real estate operations. And I was there and did some of the large-scale development there, from single-family housing to multifamily housing to Class A office building development to the grocery-anchored retail center known as the Shops on Blue Parkway where the Sunfresh is. Yes. So I got to get a sense of all that and got to put all the skill sets that I had acquired, going back to my mom and the activism and the community organizing, to understanding large-scale, multi-layered financing for the benefit of moving a people. Yeah. So that's how I got here.
Wow. That is interesting, because when I said, I'm like, wait a minute, how did that even work out? Because I'm like, biology, entrepreneurship, it didn't come together to me. I was like, I'm gonna ask you that, but that's an awesome story. So, have you been able to pay that forward of giving someone a big check that made them sign up for the next Monday? Have you been able to do that?
I have not done that.
Okay.
But, over the course, so this is my second time with the organization. As I said, I started off as the director of real estate and then went to vice president and all that good stuff.
Yeah, because the reason why I brought that up is because, there's always a start. You can start right here and bring in the check, you know what I mean? So we can start right here. This could be the first place you get our check and be like, you know what, I'm going to come Monday.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome. I love it. I really love it. So tell us a little bit, growing up in Kansas City, did you ever, what was your dream like? What did you want to do when you grew up? What was your mindset as a child?
Really my initial, and you can see from my bio or resume, biology, I really wanted to be a doctor. Okay. But I quickly found out that, I didn't have the study gumption to do that. Yeah. And so, but I had a unique upbringing, because I grew up in the urban community. I grew up in the hood.
Yeah.
I took public transportation to a grade school called Visitation, which is right off the plaza. And then I went on from Visitation to Rockhurst, to where, you know, some of Kansas City's upper crust and elite.
Yeah.
And so I had the unique experience of being and living and being a part of the urban core.
Yes.
But I got to go and spend 10 hours a day at Rockhurst and in Mission Hills visiting some of the friends at that time.
Yes.
And I got to see how the other side
yeah.
lived.
Yeah.
I got to see how things really got done. And so that kind of gave me a unique perspective, a very different perspective.
Yes.
But I got to see how things happened in urban communities. And then I got to see how power, influence began to really shape what really happens.
Yes.
And so, you know, like I said, I wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah.
And that kind of just evolved into, you know, being an economic development, community activist, organizer, and how to begin to wrap those all into this thing called, you know, community and economic development.
There's always this saying that goes like the 5 people you spend your time with actually shapes you, right? And I believe that's really important. What was it like being in that space of, you know, leaders who were, you know, people who were in the city, known in the city, and how did that really influence you in deciding, you know what, I think I'm going to be successful? Did that really impact you and say, you know what, I think I got this?
You know, they made it a very comfortable space.
Yes.
You know, you referenced being in that space.
Yes.
I tell, you know, my colleagues that's part of my organization, I've never had a bad boss. I've had bosses that allowed me the space in the room to learn, to make mistakes, to ask questions, to be in the room when they're cutting the deals. You know, I remember going to my first Capitol Hill visit with Mr. Maxwell, and we were meeting with a U.S. Senator, Senator Kit Bond. And, you know, I remember him saying, okay, no, you can go in here, I need you to be quiet, just listen. But that was important because I got to see the protocols. I got to see, you know, how this all goes down. And so being not just the flunky, but being an integral part of, okay, formulating the questions, and hearing the answers, and hearing how an ask is made on behalf of a community to bring resources back to Kansas City, particularly in an African-American community. You know, those opportunities really shaped what kind of a, you know, I don't want to call myself a leader, but
you are a leader.
You know, just really a servant of the people. It really shaped how that was done. And so I got to learn from that, and without having to worry about, you know, if you make a mistake, then you get fired. I mean, so that space to grow and to learn and to experience was invaluable.
So what is one thing you would tell, like, college students out there who are still in school and getting a degree, but they don't really know if this is going to work out or if this is going to be helpful, you know, because you had a biology degree, but like you went into real estate, now you were CEO of a, you know, multi-million company.
Be open to the pathway that lies ahead that you may not know about.
That's
you know, typically when you come to college, many, not all, but many have a predetermined path of what they think they might want to do. And that may work out, but also be open to the steps of life that are long. And that journey may not end, and it may not start directly after those 4 or 5 years.
True.
You know, my journey probably started, you know, 3 years after college, when I was trying to figure out what the heck is going on. I got to get out of my mom's basement here, and I got to start making some coin. I mean, so I was open to learning something. I was open to being all right with what I didn't know. I mean, again, I grew up, mom, I couldn't even hammer a nail. I still don't fix anything in my house now. My wife fixes everything in the house. So if you could fathom me leading, you know, architects, engineers, and they're reporting to me when I can't fix nothing. I had to be open to that learning process.
Yeah.
And so I would just say, follow your dream.
Yeah.
And it's not everything is cut and dry when you think it is. And so just keep that in mind.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you one last question before we go for a break. Sure. A friend introduced me to this concept called the it factor.
The it factor, okay.
Yes. So it's basically like, there are people who have that it thing. Like when they show up, you're like, there's something about you I don't know, but you are
like
different.
Rihanna has that it factor.
Yeah, Rihanna had that. Yeah, Rihanna. Yeah, she got an it factor. Yes, that's where I was going with that. That's exactly where I was going with that. But there are people who have that it factor when they step in a room. Like you just like, there's something about you I can't tell. Do you think that was it for you that helped you, get to where you are?
I definitely without having this come off as having an ego or being self-centered, I definitely think I have a sense of charisma. You have to have a sense of charisma to, lead initiatives that impact a community.
Yes.
So I think I have charisma. I don't know if it's it.
That's part of it.
I'm definitely comfortable in my own skin.
Good. Yes. Yes.
I don't have an issue with that. I'm definitely one that speaks his mind in all situations.
Yes.
I don't have to be scared anymore. I'm getting ready to be 53 years old.
Yeah.
So I can go do something else. And I'm okay with that, and that gives me a lot of freedom. I would say, other folks that have that it factor, I think Mayor Q or Quentin Lucas, he has that it factor.
Yeah.
I think, LeBron James has that it factor, and it's just not about the basketball acumen and his exploits on the basketball court. I think to a non-flashy part of it is I think a Warren Buffett has that it factor.
Yes.
I think Bill Gates has that it factor.
Exactly, yes.
Jeff Bezos has that it factor.
Yeah, he has way more it factor than he needs.
I think that, some of the ministers.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Emmanuel Cleaver the third. I think he has that it factor.
Yeah.
In their own respect, in their own realm, I think they have it.
Yeah.
And so, I think that it factor is the confidence that you exude to others that inspires them to want to follow or want to buy into whatever it is you're trying to, articulate.
Yes. Wow. I still want to touch up on that because I see more of younger people who are taking up leadership today, where it's like now we got the Super Bowl. We got Mahomes, who is the leader of the team, who is actually my age. Yes. I know what I'm doing in my life, but anyways. But just, seeing that at this time, and to Mayor Q, that's actually a big deal. Like, he actually got to hold a trophy the first year of office.
Absolutely.
That is fantastic,
one of our other great leaders, Representative Emmanuel Cleaver.
Yes, Emmanuel Cleaver.
Or Reverend Cleaver, as some know him.
Yes.
Who really gave me my first real position of leadership in the city as I believe I was the youngest appointee to the Port Authority, and it was initially under Mayor Cleaver, and then subsequently under Mayor K. Barnes. I think all that begins to pull other folk together, and I love to see that younger are beginning to step into that space. And I think it's a little bit different than when I was coming up, because it was always wait your turn.
Yeah.
No, you're too young. Wait your turn, and it's not your turn.
Yeah.
And so now either you had to take from the older folk, and then you got he's not respectful and all that stuff. And so now it is a little bit more open to the younger point of view, and that may be because of millennials and X generation and all that good stuff. That may have something to do with it, but we still don't have enough. We still need folk like yourself. You need folks like all the folk making OHope happen here in Kansas City with Lyndon Breckenridge. We
Lyndon, my guy.
We definitely need folk who are moving in spaces in the community that we typically heretofore have not been in.
Yes.
So, OHope, especially OHope Kansas City,
exactly,
is pushing the limits or the opportunities, I should say, for African American entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Not everybody's going to go to college. College is not for everybody.
True.
And I know we're in on the campus of higher education, but not everybody who wants to go to college can go to college.
True.
And so, many of the folk that have power and influence and money were entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And so, so young brothers like that's out there doing their thing.
Exactly.
And sisters, I applaud them. And we need more of them.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm gonna come back to OHope KC, but I just because I've been talking about it for a long time now, because I believe that this is KC's time to shine. Like, this is our time to stand up and actually take hold of our opportunities, because we have a lot of talents in Kansas City, but it's just more there's all this pockets of people doing stuff that if we can come together and actually make KC a place like Los Angeles, like Vegas, we can be Vegas. It's just, like you said, people who can be able to stand up in different sectors and come together and build that platform,
Absolutely. And understanding that Kansas City is still a segregated town.
Yeah.
I mean, and it pains me to say that, but we still have the East Side.
True. True.
And even though the Renaissance that's occurring on Troost, that's a long time coming.
Yeah.
But we still have a forgotten, in many ways, the East Side of Kansas City, which is what Community Builders is all about.
Yes.
We are there to change the landscape of Kansas City by igniting and fueling equity, access, opportunity, and advocacy. That's what our mission is.
Yes.
And so, that's done not by ourselves, but that's done in concert with the community, neighborhood groups, young leaders, aspiring leaders, because I had that opportunity. And so, I think we have to foster that space for the next generation and not be threatened by the next generation and embrace it.
So I also got the news that OHope KC is bringing Shark Tank to Kansas City. Yes. Are you guys playing a part in that as well? Or
No. I guess it was kind of hinted to probably October-ish when they brought and I can't remember his name, the African-American that came, who goes around the country trying to find
I think
minorities.
It's Brandon.
Yes.
It's Brandon, yes.
Yes. So it was kind of hinted at.
Yes.
But no, I mean, I think it's a tremendous opportunity for folk of color, particularly African-Americans, to pitch their business.
Yes. True.
And maybe the next Jeff Bezos is
sitting right here.
Absolutely.
Gotta shoot my shot. But that's awesome. That's really awesome. Because I'm inspired by the work you guys do, like OHope KC and Community Builders of Kansas City.
And it's Community Builders is working with OHope. We have WeCode Kansas City, with the outstanding work of Tammy Buckner and Philip Hickman.
Yes.
Exposing folk from 8 years old to seniors in high school, to coding, to software development, to app for development. Again, that's a niche market that traditionally has not been a part of our community.
Yes.
And it's great because I was able to read an article that Rodney Sampson, the president of OHope, provided me with McKinsey & Company, which is the foremost management consulting firm in the country, and they said, by 2030, because of AI and animation, the African American male, particularly, is going to have a hard time. Because they are not able to. Exactly, they are not able to partake in those jobs, and so we have to, and I say we collectively, we have to begin to look at how do we begin to move the needle, and how do we begin to provide access to economic opportunities that are not traditionally in the construction industry, which is not in the labor industry, if you will, but is in the innovation and in the using your mind realm of possibilities and job creation. Yeah.
With that being said, I want to dive into let's dive into some news updates. Because So, the Chiefs won the championship, of course. You know,
course.
Are you a Chiefs fan?
I am a Chiefs fan.
Okay, okay.
You know, but I'm also a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Okay, okay.
You know, I'm always going to be down for my hometown.
Okay.
Always.
Okay. I'm going to ask you, are you a faith, are you a believer, are you a faith-based person? Or
Absolutely.
Do you think your faith has a role to play in what you do, and how do you think that plays a role in
100%.
100%.
Because remember, I do large-scale projects with no money. So I have to have faith.
That is, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you gotta lay hands. So this is a funny joke to me, but something it might not be funny. But recently I've been having this new prayer point. You know, I'm like, I want the Chiefs, the Mahomes kind of miracle, right? Where you're 10 down and then you're 21 up. You know, I want to be like, that's what I want in this season of my life. The Mahomes, sunset Mahomes to my life. You know what I mean? Like, save me. You know. Well, that's it for the news. Now let's go to we have a few minutes here, so we're gonna wrap it up real fast. So, what advice would you? So two things. What advice would you give to your 21-year-old self who is still coming up and doesn't know what he wants to do? What advice would you give to the person who's when you were 21? What did you tell yourself when you were 21? And what books have you read that has inspired you to become who you are today?
So I'll answer the second one first. What advice would I give to my 21-year-old self? The first one would be save. You know, I did not do enough saving when I was younger. Yeah. You know, I blew a lot of stuff on clothes and Yeezys and you know, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Where, you know, not knowing the entrepreneurial spirit or having that bug catch fire. So that would be one. The second advice I would give is what has really helped me in my life is finding a partner, my wife, that really completed and was a driving force in where I am now. So pick the right significant other.
So find you a Beyonce.
Well, you know, yeah. So my wife happens to be Beyonce, but only has the brains of a doctor.
You heard it here first. Mr. Emmet Pierson, he said, first, save, and secondly, get you a Beyonce. That's exactly what he said. Get you a Beyonce. But we are at the end of the show today. Where can people catch you at? If people want to connect with you, are you on the air somewhere? Or
I am not on the air. I only do things like this when I'm asked.
Okay.
But go to our website, www.communitybuilders.org, and you can scroll through and see the staff, and you'll see me and many of my other colleagues that are there. So I'm around. And if you want to email me, it's ePearson, Pierson, at cb-kc.org.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming in today. Thank you for having a conversation with us today. There's like a lot of things I want to ask, but because of time, we will have to have maybe a second round sometime. Because now you're MKC, you are Ruse, go Ruse. So we're gonna be seeing you here often. But to you guys, thank you guys for tuning in today. This is Firedup KC. We bring the inspiration and motivation, and this is going to be going every Tuesday till May. So you don't want to miss out on any episode because it's going to be lit. Like we had the CEO of Community Builders of Kansas City, millions in the house today. He's still going to give me that check maybe later. But we'll find out. We'll find out. But hey, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Firedup KC. Go to Spotify and listen to audio and never miss out. I'll see you guys next time. But for now, bye-bye.
This is Emmet Pierson Jr. Make sure you follow my boy Zeke on KC Fired Up on YouTube and Spotify. I smiled at them and said she told me so. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so.